Can you survive a Disney Lorcana League night with a deck from only a booster box of Fabled and a starter deck? I put it to the test. Some deck building tips. When building a deck for Disney Lorcana, you get 60 cards and are restricted to only using 2 colors of ink. You want to keep a bell curve in mind for your deck, starting with a few low drops, more in the middle, like 3 and 4 cost, and less in 5, 6, 7, 8. Generally speaking, you need at least 8 1-drops to consistently have something to play on turn 1. I would recommend keeping the number of uninkables in a 60 card deck anywhere from about 10 to 15. I already opened a booster box of Disney Lorcana's newest set, Fabled, which you can find on the channel. I'll put a link for it above and in the description. After taking a look at all of the cards that I opened and the ones that I'm most excited to play with, the ones in my box, I got a lot of good hits in Ruby and Emerald, which just happens to match the starter deck. So I'm going to use that starter deck to fill any holes that I might have from my initial box opening. Let's do the cards from the box first. A few of these cards from my box I was already so excited about that I sleeved up, so we're definitely playing those in the deck. Let's throw in some other great legendaries like John Silver, a great rare 1-drop Cursed Merfolk. In the event I get to play him and don't need to ink him, he quests for 4. Prince Philip is uninkable, but let's throw him in for now. Wildcat, evasive, banishes items. Pegasus, early, evasive, we love that. Daisy Duck, that's great. I am a fan of Sudden Chill. Stand out. Oh, Ursula, some hand disruption. That's really nice. Bobby's okay. Put him in there for now. Even though it's difficult for you to see the top of my playmat, I do have them evenly stacked. If this was how my deck was with 60 cards and my bell curve looked like this is the opposite direction that it's supposed to look. It's supposed to go a little bit more like that. So we're definitely going to be looking for more 2 and 3 drops, and we don't even have anything in the 5-drop spot yet. Maui is inkable, so let's throw him in. Lumiere gives your other characters +1 strength. That's great. So is Shere Khan. You get rewarded when you're challenging. I even mentioned that in my top 10 upgrades video for this very deck. Simba's just going to get banished so quickly. I like Moana with evasive, and LeFou, super handy. Also, more 2-drops. We need that. Be King Undisputed, removal spells. I like that. Uninkable, but that's okay. We haven't added too many of those so far. Oh, the Queen of Hearts could draw me some cards. If I absolutely need more 1-drops, I do have them from Sergeant Tibbs or Mulan. Ooh, I have a foil Be King Undisputed. That's really nice. Gotta play the foily cards, in my opinion. I'm sleeving them up so they're protective. And Roxanne, she stands singers. So that's pretty good. Let's take a count of how many cards I'm playing out of my box so far and then add some cards from the deck. I'm at 46 cards. We gotta play Powerline in this deck. More Powerline. We gotta play Max Goof. That takes me up 2 more cards to 48. I'm going to put in a couple more bobbies. Now I'm up to 50 cards, only 10 more to add. I definitely want the 4th copy of Be King Undisputed. It's a song, it's removal. Let's go hard with the songs. Stand out. I love a Goofy movie. Let's get up to a maximum of 4 standouts, and that also helps finally make our 3-drop column as long as our 2-drop one. I definitely want all 4 power lines so that I can shift the 6-cost power line with only 4 ink. Something to think about with these Aladdins. I am not using any other Aladdin cards, and I have some other 2-drops that I'm slightly more interested in. I'm going to put these off over to the side. because Roxanne says when you have a singer in play, she gets an extra strength and an extra lore. So instead of being a 2/2 who quests for 1 for 2, she becomes a 3/3 who quests for 2 for 2. And I'll play all of the copies of her that I have, which is 3. Now I can decide if I want to add any of these 2 drops, but let's set them to the side and look at what 3 cost things I'm looking at. Oh, and I had this whole big pile of maybes too. I don't think I'm going to try to add the location synergy here. That's not locations. The Hidden Cove. Just none of these things have to do with singers, so I'm just going to leave the locations out for tonight. A Pirate's Life. Under the Sea. That could be fun. Shout out to OB83 Lorcana, who commented on my Power Line deck upgrade video and suggested an additional bonus upgrade for Under the Sea. Since I opened one, let's try it out. Make sure you're subscribed, slam that subscribe button, and give this video a like, because you gotta know how it turns out tonight. Now, to fill in a couple more 3-drop cards, I have Mother Knows Best to return a chosen character to their player's hand. Wildcat, more evasive and can banish chosen item. Or Max Goof with Singer 5. And 4 strength, pretty good. I'm leaning towards the characters. Mother Knows Best is a song, but let's see where my count is adding these in. That's 59 cards. I only have room for 1 more. So let's put in 1 Mother Knows Best. Maybe I'll draw it. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll hate it. Now, how many uninkables did I recommend for a deck? That's right, anywhere from 10 to 15. Let's count how many I have just to make sure I'm not running too many. I only have 9 uninkables. That's even better than my recommendation, so I shouldn't have any problem playing my cards. Now that I've got my full 60 card deck, it's time to shuffle up and head down to my local game store, Addictive Behaviors, sponsor of the channel, where you can shop for all of your favorite trading card games at ccgobsession.com.
This is the first ever night of Core Constructed, so I feel like everybody's going to be testing some decks, so I have a good chance of doing decently. I've got lots of evasives. I definitely think I could add some cards from my top 10 list, but we're doing this fresh. Round 1 against the same deck. It was a mirror match, Emerald, Ruby, and our cards were pretty similar. I will say both of the games were really close, but my opponent beat me 2-0, so congrats to him. And some things that I noticed that I didn't include in my deck: he was playing Mother Knows Best and a Pirate's Life, which I think would be good additions to my deck. And the winning card in game 2 that my opponent played was Under the Sea. He's playing a total of 2 in his deck, so the fact that we threw ours in, I think, was a good measure. I didn't get to play it in game 1 and almost get close. Our games were neck and neck, like it was 17-19 and 18-19 in the end. So very good for the first round. On to round 2. Since I didn't win the first round, I got the bye for the second round. I watched an Amethyst Steel deck versus a Sapphire Emerald deck. The Amethyst Steel deck was playing a lot of new cards like Dumbo, along with some older cards, Jafar, and the Sapphire Emerald deck was also playing a lot of cards that came out prior to Fabled, like Clarabelle and Heffalumps and Woozles. Yeah, so I saw some interesting Emerald cards that might be something that I'll add after this box challenge. Now on to round 3. Round 3, I played against an opponent who had a very fast Emerald Amber deck. It focused a lot on using Pluto to play stuff early and Lady to play Enchantress for free. Whoa, we had some really close games, and we went to game 3 In the end, I got a really lucky under the sea where I was able to get 3 characters down to the bottom of her deck. So I got the win on this one. So all right, round 4, I got paired up against an Amber Steel player, and I won game 1 on the draw, which means my opponent went first. So that was actually really cool to win a match where my opponent, you're naturally favored to win if you go first in this game, if the decks are even. So that was really cool. We did go to 3 games and my opponent ended up winning the match 2-1, but our last game was so close. It was 12-14 and he got a really lucky top deck of a Cinderella to play a glass slipper. That extra 3 lore really helps.
2 and 2 is not bad. I had a lot of fun playing Lorcana with my local community, and I have a few things to call out that I would change now that I've had some experience with the deck. Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Tailor, and some of the other rares that I just threw in there to try out don't really synergize with the deck. I will definitely be getting more copies of a rare that I found really good, Lumiere, Fiery Friend. He only costs 2 and he gives your other characters +1 strength. This was fun to hold in my hand and then play and suddenly be able to trade with all of the characters they thought were safe. So I would definitely be picking up 3 more of these. 4 Bee King Undisputeds was definitely the right move. The sudden chills were okay. It was nice to trigger, but honestly with Sisu in there, the sudden chills worked against her. Let's bring those up. Really a non-bow combo. So I feel like in this meta, sudden chill isn't necessarily as needed. I'd rather be playing more characters like even just the 2-drop power line or the 3-drop max goof. They're both pretty big, a 3-2 and a 4-3. Even the Moana, a 3-4 with evasive. I was using characters like this to challenge who only quest for 1 lore. My characters with evasive were all super handy, so I will definitely be dipping into my top 10 list for the power line Ruby Emerald starter deck, which I'll put a link to in the description and up above. One last call out, Khan was really good. The one game that I got him out, he was able to swing the tide in my favor. So I would definitely play some more of him. A card that stood out to me that is not from Fabled, that's a little bit older, is Clarabelle. I saw a lot of the Emerald players, no matter what their second color was, playing the 1-drop Clarabelle Clumsy Guest, as well as the larger Clarabelle for Shift 5, Clarabelle Light on her hooves, and that really helped them draw cards. So Clarabelle is going to be really important for me to add. There's some cards I did not include that in hindsight I kind of wish that I had. I think a Pirate's Life, having a swing of your opponent losing 2 lore and you gaining 2 lore, that's a 4-point swing. That's pretty big. And I also think Eye to Eye. Sing together, and you really have a lot of characters like the power line that costs 2 has Singer 4, Max Goof who costs 3 has Singer 5. So you can sing eye to eye with a lot of your lower cost characters that might not be optimal for challenging. I think I would definitely put more of this in here and at least 1 more Under the Sea, because that was crazy swingy against the games where it really mattered. What do you think? Are you ready to get into Disney Lorcana? I really wanted to show you that you can build a deck out of what's accessible to you. Even if you started with only the starter deck, I think you'd still have a great time, because there's a lot of the cards that I picked that are pretty similar that I grabbed from my Fabled box. Half of the cards that I played are the exact same copies of cards that you could get in the Ruby Emerald starter deck. So whether you're wanting to try building your own deck or just pick up a starter deck, you should go play at your local game store. Go play with some friends at your kitchen table. If you have questions, throw them down below in the comments. You are fabulous!